You're now listening to the 1130 podcast. Enjoy the show. Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Y'all already know what it is. Welcome back, everyone, to the 1130 podcast. What's goody, everybody doing out there, man? We made it back here for another Wednesday, man. For real, good morning to everyone who's joining me and watching here on YouTube. If you're new to the 1130 podcast, y'all already know, man. Hit that subscribe button down below, like, leave a comment, and do all that great stuff. And don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, like I said, man, you know what time it is. It's not 7:30. It's 11:30, man. We're going to get into the show. Thank everyone for joining me this week, man. This is the last episode before the break, man. The last episode here on the main show. Had to stop past here, man. I was just like, yo, I was looking for a guest yesterday. And, you know, some of the dope groups that I be networking in and stuff. But, you know, no luck on that. But I was just like, you know what? This is the time to just reminisce, man, because I've been going strong, been going hard at the podcast game ever since I started, man. Ever since I started back in December of 2019, man. And man, I've been killing it with it, man. Just been going hard with it. And I thank everyone who support the 1130 podcast, who tune into the 1130 podcast each and every week, or whether you missed a couple of weeks and you want to, let some couple of episodes build up. That's all dope, man. That's understandable. I get it, man. For real. Trust me, I get it. In the day and age we living in with everything is, people time frame and attention span is real short. So I definitely get it. But once again, man, I thank everyone for tuning in this week, and thank everyone for the major support. Just starting the podcast, man. I tell you, me and my fiance be talking about it, and like I said, the documentary that came out last year, I think everyone who supported that documentary and tuned in, but I always said, man, I want to do another one, and kind of like a remastered version of the documentary, because I want to go into more details and of depth, because man, I had so many people. I remember Mia and Lil David from the Lil David show I had back on in November, I believe it was 2020. Yeah, and we was chatting. I was chatting with them and talking about the episode, and she's the producer of the show. And I was just telling her, man, any tips or anything. She was like, just start. And I just started with the documentary, and hell, I didn't know what I was doing. But man, I definitely, want to do and, remaster and just show little more stuff of how I really began, man. From, I remember a couple of weeks ago where we were at a hotel, and man, the table was short. So I had to find a pack of noodles, oodles and noodles, ramen noodle box, and set the computer on there. Even from recording from my Android phone. Yeah, I know a lot of people go on people with Androids all the time. So yeah, I know I'm team Android, but definitely need to get an iPhone. But man, everyone, thank you guys for tuning in here on the podcast. This has been a dope journey, man. Really dope journey. Like I was saying, last episode before the break, and on this episode, like I said, I'm going to be doing some reminiscing, man. Like I was saying, been doing this from time, and when you've been going hard at something for almost 3 years, sometimes you don't really get a chance to stop and smell the rain, and and smell the roses and stuff like that, and also appreciate it. And I think I don't know, man. It was just like when my brother was here and he was doing the King City thing, and I was like, yo, man, I never found myself to be really ambitious about something, really like, okay, yeah, I got this. I'm about to, go do it and stuff. And man, it's like once that happened, that kind of led me into, podcasting, and I just been, doing it every. And I think also me watching wrestling, kind of um, with the whole being consistent and, you know, I hear people who, who's consistent, they wins, man. Being consistent and stuff, but stopping and smelling, the roses and appreciating everything and all the hard work you've done is also very important. But this week on the podcast, we're gonna be topping it up with you guys and also reminiscing here on the 1130 podcast. How far, man, I come here on the podcast and how far everyone come to, man. You guys are with me here on this ride, so it's been a dope one, man. But normally I start a podcast off, obviously chatting with my guests or whatnot. But I saved this segment for the end of the show, you guys. Yes, I saved it for the end of the show. But we're gonna start the show off this week, you guys, with the WTF moment of the week, you guys. Yes. WTF moment of the week, man. Yo. What was it? I think it was last, I can't remember what day it was. What was it? Last Friday or last Thursday? Um I think it was last Thursday. Last Thursday, here in all across the country, we all heard about the news of the overturn of Roe versus Wade or whatever. But that's not my WTF moment. My WTF moment came along with that decision and that overturn. Here in DC, Frederick Douglass Bridge, new bridge, really dope bridge. After that decision was made, one of the protesters climbed up on top of the bridge, man, and he was like, "Yo, I ain't coming down. I ain't coming down at all." And he was, on Twitter, he was on Instagram Live like the whole, I believe it was Friday night, the whole Friday
night.
Rights
activist is on top of that bridge, the Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge in D.C., protesting the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. You're looking live at that bridge, which has been shut down all day now. Guido Reichstader climbed the bridge and hung up a green banner.
Lorenzo, at this point, this bridge has been closed for 6 hours, and you can see police crews and emergency crews on standby just waiting for Guido Reichstader to come down. They've even put down that yellow large inflatable under him. The Miami resident told WUSA 9 this afternoon that he was planning on climbing the bridge whether there was a ruling on abortion rights or not. He says that he's been partaking in the pro-abortion protests at the Supreme Court since the leak of the ruling, but on June 6th, he decided to lock his neck to the gate that surrounds the Supreme Court. He did so for about 15 minutes before he was arrested. During a conversation this afternoon, he said he's upset more people are not partaking in the streets.
For my daughter, I'm here for all the daughters. I'm here for the next generation. Over my dead body, are they going to am I going to watch the civil rights of this country be rolled back 50 years? And the people on the court that have undertaken this attack, they're traitors for doing so. So I'm calling people to rebel nonviolently and shut down DC day after day after day. That's what it takes to win our rights, and so be it,
The WTF was it, the people that he were inviting on live on Instagram Live. He just created his Instagram account, as he was saying in that video. Not even that long ago. He created for him to go in because he said he had rumors that they were going to leak this information out or whatnot. But very upset. And I told myself, even I discussed this Friday live on Talk Pro Wrestling. I was like, man, I'm not gonna get too much into it because that's very controversial. But man, let women do what they want to do, man. Let women want to do with their bodies. But it's a crazy time that we are living in, though. Definitely crazy time. But my man was up on top of the bridge, though, for over a day, man. Over a day. And like I said, it was going live with different people and certain people coming in. And it was just like, yo, man, explain why you doing this and everything like that, bro. The comments was definitely hilarious, though. Obviously, I'm pretty sure he didn't post the actual video to his page. But, bro, if you can go find that out, I'll probably leave the link down below or something, man. But, yo, WTF, man. Climb up. Look here. That's too high. That's too high for me. I ain't about to be climbing up on no Frederick Douglass Bridge. I don't know, man. You got that one all the way. But hey, for a good cause, hey, that's what's up, though. That's what's up. But you guys, man, we're gonna move on here on the 1130 podcast this week, man. Like I was saying, this week is man, I'm just gonna, this is the last episode before the break, and like I was saying, reminiscing and just taking the time just to appreciate some hard work. But you guys, man, we're gonna take it back to a previous episode of the 1130 podcast, man. For
She's
real.
also a founder of her own business. You guys, 10,000 pencils. Yes, Brittany Wagner, you guys. Yes, she starred in the Netflix series Last Chance U, part 1 and part 2 of East Mississippi. Yes, yo, that was my favorite 2 parts of the show, you guys. She's going to be joining me here, chopping it up on the show. Miss Wagner, how's it going?
It's great. Thank you. Thanks for having me. So there wasn't a whole lot of time to, really think it through.
To get prepared and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't time to get ready. They were just there. So yeah, it was a quick process. And I don't know that any of us really believed that it would become what it became. I mean, I know I thought nobody would watch this. I thought, who's going to watch this?
Wow.
Like, it's not going to matter. Nobody's going to watch this show. And I think we all kind of thought that, which I think is why the first 2 seasons are so genuine and so much different than the other seasons that have come out since, is because I don't think any of us thought that anybody would watch it. We just didn't think it would be what it is. And so I think we were real and honest and vulnerable and weren't really that worried about it because we didn't think anybody would see it. It's hard to kind of watch it back. The thing that I thought was interesting about watching it was, I was never in like the locker room. I mean, I was on the sideline during games, but I was never in the locker room at halftime or at the end of the game or in the meetings with coaches, really. So I don't know that I knew the level at which, the way in which I guess the guys were treated. I knew that Buddy was tough and hard, and I would hear stories from the guys about things that had happened. But I sometimes you're like, well, there's 2 sides to every story, so I don't know. But then when I saw it on TV, I thought, oh wow, like I had no idea that it was that the things that were being said, or that I just had no idea that it was at the level that it was until I watched the show. And then
What was your relationship with you and Buddy, Coach Buddy?
It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows with us. I think our relationship started out very good. And then over the years, things happened and it didn't end well. I made a decision, I don't know, maybe a year before we started filming the show, just to kind of not focus on him so much. I was really letting him get to me. And I just made the decision that I was just going to kind of worry about what I could control and worry about working with the guys and not really worry about him.
No ghost, you guys. Yes, he's from South Africa. He's a singer, songwriter. He's a hip hop artist, you guys. He's going to be joining me here on the podcast this week.
My day is so great, man. I can't complain. I'm just in the studio doing a couple of things, sorting out some vocals and stuff like that. But the day is great. I can't complain, man. In your day?
My day.
They wanted to move me from that school to a white people's school so that I can get like a better education. So she said she wanted me to be a doctor. Unfortunately, after that year where we spoke about, she passed on.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. So after that, my father passed on. My mother also. It was like the whole family just like gone. And now I had to actually, now imagine your family died and you have these dreams and you have these things that you need to do, but you can't do them because they all cost money. So there's no one who's actually looking after you. So then I was lucky enough, then I got a teacher and she took me and she said she's going to provide me with a couple of things so that I can finish school. So while I was in school, I fell in love with the music because this was the only thing that I can use to express my feelings, with whatever that I went through, and, that I can just like talk about it and speak about it. Maybe sometimes someone that's listening can get inspired to what I'm saying. Yeah. So I think that's when I started picking up the pen and say, let me write something. Let me actually talk about my life. Let me talk about what I see around me.
He was a Chicago man. He was released from prison after 20 years. He's spending like 20 years or so in prison. And, he was accused of murdering someone. But the guy, twin brother, actually committed the murder. So the guy went down for a murderer 20 years ago that he did not commit and stuff. To find out his identical twin committed the
Southern
murder.
joins us to chat about some of the day's more interesting stories. And Richard, we begin with a Chicago man who is free tonight after spending 2 decades in prison for a crime his twin brother committed.
Okay, can you think about this? This is crazy. You're behind bars for almost 2 decades for a murder, and then your identical twin brother writes you a letter saying, "Sorry about that. It was actually me that did it." This is what happened. This is Kevin Duggar. He was the guy who spent almost 20 years behind bars, but he got out of jail this week. His twin brother, Carl Smith, confessed to the murder. He said in a letter, quote, "I have to get it off my chest before it kills me."
What?
He goes, "So I'll just come clean and pray you can forgive me."
What?
Now
That's crazy.
Bro, so look.
That's crazy.
So I would never want to be a twin with anybody ever, bro. Look at this shit. You mean I'm gonna serve 20 years because my fucking twin did some stupid shit, bro? Like,
yes.
What the fuck? Dre, just position yourself here, right? You're the brother that didn't do anything, right? And you're all calm, you're chill. All you do is play FIFA and like fucking do podcasts and shit, right? And then your wild ass brother that looks exactly like you, who does all this shit, gang banging, selling drugs, like all sorts of shit. He catches a body, bro, and they arrest you, and they take you to jail for 20 fucking years, bro. How mad would you be at your brother at that point?
I'm not coming to see you. I'm not sending nothing on your books, brother. Like, I don't want nothing to do with you, bro. Like, for real. I asked your ugly twin ass, did you do it? I asked you. What you say?
Ugly ass motherfucker.
I'm the good looking twin. You the ugly motherfucker, right? I asked you.
Hey, yo, man, that was definitely a dope episode. Shout out to my guy Chris and Misa from the Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Yo, man, you talking about coming out of a WTF moment with the guy on the Frederick Douglass Bridge. That was indeed one of the dopest WTF moments here on the 1130 podcast, man. Twin brother, man. Yeah, go down for a murder that he didn't commit. Yo, man, did you do it? Yo, definitely. It's always dope chopping it up with my guy Chris from the Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast, man. For real, we're gonna keep the videos coming, man.
It's a new episode. We about to get into it. Like I said, it's Wednesday. For real, awesome guest Noel. How's it going?
Hi, Dre. It's going great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Yes, and she had me as a guest on her podcast, and then she made the connection for us. So I am so humbled and grateful. Thanks, Sparkle.
Now with the pandemic and with a lot of things going on, a lot of people are sketching this to maybe, dating in person. And, with today's society now, with everything is so social and digital, everyone would, maybe rather date online. So can you inform my listeners and viewers about your awesome book?
Sure. So I wrote this book during the pandemic because the virus not only killed humans, it killed relationships, right? A lot of marriages, a lot of relationships did not survive the pandemic. And let's face it, the pandemic isn't over. It still continues. So a lot of relationships are failing. As a result, a lot of men who haven't dated for decades are getting online and trying their hand at online dating. And what we're finding is that these profiles that they're creating, they're not 100% on point. So, they're creating profiles that overinflate and exaggerate, and that's not what you want to do. You want to be 100% real. And my book helps men become dating breakout stars in the new normal. It's full of tips on how to navigate online dating, because it's not, you just can't throw some half-assed profile up on the dating website and think that, you're in. You're not. There's a lot of ways that I look for scammers. And there's a lot of clues. But listen, I've been online dating since 2012. Okay, so I get it. I can see someone right away. I'm like, oh, this is a bot. Or or I just see a guy that was on a different dating website. If you look at different dating websites, and on one dating website, his name is one thing, and on another dating website, his name is another. And on one, he is, a doctor, and on another one, he's a business owner, So yeah, there's a lot of scammers out there. So people do have to be careful.
Have you ever had to discuss, dating online as far as, women who may be looking for men throughout the pandemic?
So that question, since I published this book, has come up a lot. Okay. First, let me just say, I only date guys. So I don't date. Well, it's true. So I don't date women. I'm good with anyone. I don't care who you date, right? I'm cool with everything.
All cool.
Right?
All cool.
So the men.
Yo, Noel. Shout out to Noel, man, for coming through here on the 1130 podcast, man. I definitely remember Noel Benson for coming through here on the podcast, chatting about her dope book, online dating during the pandemic and everything, man. So, yo, definitely shout out to Noel for coming through here once again on the podcast. And speaking of relationships and stuff, man, that is going to be one of the main topics, man. Relationships, dating, sex, man, you name it. Coming this fall, you guys. Yes, coming this fall, all new episode of Beyond 1130, all new series, man, coming to the 1130 podcast YouTube channel. So, man, if you know somebody, man, that is real heavy into relationships and sex, man, want to get on the show, definitely, because I already been having a couple of people who hit me up already, man, talking about, yo, man, I'm definitely interested in being on that. So after the break, I definitely will be coming back and hitting people up, definitely, for that show. So definitely, Beyond 1130 is an exclusive one, man. It's going to be dope. I'm going to try to definitely have Noel Benson here on the podcast, man. So that's going to be dope.
I'm happy to be back. This platform you got going on here is just, it's a movement within the community. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody Black specifically should be following this movement you got going on. So I'm happy to be here.
Hey, man, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And how can us humans correct that type of generational behavior?
Well, it's going to sound cliche, Dre, but it starts in the home. Straight up. And it also begins with understanding that your parents were not perfect. Okay? And I say that to say most of us, we do what we know, Dre. You know what I'm saying? We do what mommy and daddy taught us. But it's understanding the power you have as an adult, okay? Especially when you have your own children, you have to understand, damn, mama used to bake her cakes on Tuesday at 2:00. I want to bake my cakes on Sunday at 7:00. Just because mommy did this on this particular day or daddy fixed his car this particular way doesn't mean I have to do that. But a lot of Black people, what we do is we think that if we go against the grain of what our predecessors taught us, that we're slapping them in the face by doing that. No, you're not. You're showing your power and you're showing your strength and you're showing your independence as a person. You understand? But first understand that your parents weren't perfect. After mommy and daddy, after they're done raising you, 18, 19, and 20, now it's your job to keep on raising yourself effectively. You know what a lot of people do? They take everything that mommy and daddy did and taught them for the last 20 years and say, okay, now this is what I'm gonna do. What? Let's say it didn't work for mommy and daddy. You think it's gonna work for you? Absolutely not. You have to change up, you have to change and rearrange the whole dynamics of your lineage. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some people might feel like, yo, you know what? You have to go to college to become successful. Let's say college is not your thing. Let's say you're good with these and you're a mechanic. You know what I'm saying? Going to college will be a waste of your time.
Exactly.
So if you're only doing it for mommy and daddy, you are conforming to generational ignorance. Let's get the answer. You know what I'm saying? It could be a number of reasons why daddy wasn't there. But if daddy wasn't there because he didn't want to take care of you, you didn't need him anyway. I'm going to say that one more time. If daddy was not there for you, young lady, because he did not want to take care of you, you didn't need him anyway. So you didn't lose anything. Okay? And daddy don't only come in, he don't just come in the model of who your father is. Your father figure could be your uncle. Your father figure could be your professor. Your father figure could be your older brother. You understand? Your father figure cannot be your man, though. He can't be your husband. But he can be these other role models in life, because a lot of us, especially Black people, and bring it back to us, we don't know, and this has to do with generational ignorance. We don't know how to separate our family members from our family members. And I'll explain what I mean by that. My family member is a person that's my cousin, right? My father and his mother were sisters and brothers, and this is my cousin. My family member is this person that's there when I need him at 2:00 in the morning to pick up the phone and talk to him because I'm thinking about my man that just passed away. Those are two different family members. You understand? We have this one family member that's just my cousin just because of blood. Then we have this other family member right here that's there no matter, that's my ride or die. Even if they weren't my blood family member, they would be there. That has nothing to do with their bloodline. You know what that has to do with? Their inner spirit, their inner beauty. You understand? This is a beautiful person that would be my ride or die, regardless if they were my blood. And I think with Teresa and Tiffany, Teresa couldn't really, she felt, her generational ignorance. Mm-hmm. Damn, this is my sister. You know what I mean? And Quinn actually that's where it started, the disconnection started. When Tiffany started interfering in Teresa's and Quentin's business. That's where the disconnection started. And I don't think Teresa was mature enough to tell Tiffany, mind your business. This is my man. I love him, etc., etc. And in our Black communities, we have that problem. We have a lot of people in our families, Dre, that are not good people. And it's like people don't say that enough. Your people in your family.
I don't even think people say that enough because it's always, man, family is everything. Family is this. Family is supposed to be.
That's crazy. And it's okay that you would feel that way, but it's not the truth. You understand? I have family members that have done the unthinkable. And people in the family still respect them and still talk to them in their face as if they're a loved one. No, I treat you as such. If you don't act like a loved one, Dre, you will not be treated. I don't care if you're my sister, brother. Maybe that's the only child complex I have. You understand? But I'm a firm believer that, you know what I'm saying? Some of my friends are more family members than my own family members. And that's okay. You understand? To walk away from a family member is not like you're walking away from, your whole heritage. No, that single person is despicable. Okay? And they should be treated as such. And if you don't, you are continuing the generational curses and ignorance.
Yeah. Whole lot of things going on. You need that. Mm-hmm. What have you learned about life from kids?
From kids?
Yes.
I have learned, this is something fundamental I've learned. I've learned that when we were 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's the person that we really, really are. The person that we are as adults, we're totally watered down. Know why? Our self-confidence is shot because we're scared about what people are going to say about us. We listen to the TV. We listen to the radio. We listen to others too much. When you're 4 through 10, you don't give a damn. You're doing you. And I think as an adult, you have to incorporate who you were as that 4 through 10-year-old into your adult life, man. You'll be happier and freer. Yep.
That's good. That's some interesting stuff right there.
Happy 100th episode.
Hey, let's get it. Yeah. Who with me?
Out there. Yes, it's Wednesday. It's October 27th. It's the 100th episode of the 1130 podcast. For real, I got my guy Quan John. He's going to be joining me here on the podcast, you guys, later on in the show. Also, EB Radio's own Helen from the Honestly Helen podcast will be stopping by. DC's own A Milli. My man Gator Live will be joining me, and my guy Chris. Yes, my guy Chris from Carissa with Chris and Nisa. And you guys, yes, the first lady of the 1130 podcast who's been here. First woman who was here on the 1130 podcast. And it's her first time coming back for almost in a year. You got
100 episodes. It's an honor. I'm honored to be here. This is great. We're on the radio, everything. You're so dope. So I'm very honored. And I'm like happy. I'm nervous a little bit though. You took the video too?
On something, with adult toys and stuff. What's going on with that?
You and your woman gotta call me up. I got the toys, I got the lubricants, I got massage oils, I give classes to couples.
Oh, okay.
Some people miss the spice in their, in the sex life. It's a lot of things you can do that people don't understand. They don't know.
Okay.
So I'm here to help them.
Okay. What's going on, Gator? How's it going, bro?
Yo, what's going on, everybody out there in podcast world? This is your boy, Gator Beater, baby. Dropped the belt on TV. I was like, Becky's not gonna pick that belt. No, that's not,
exactly.
And you can literally see, I was like, oh, she's doing a really good job acting at this. But no, there was acting. There was some serious, really backstage heat going on between the two for that. And I don't blame Becky for being upset. Don't cheapen me on national TV. Don't throw this title on the ground and expect me to pick it up or expect me to have to come up with something to stay in character. That shouldn't have been up to Becky to call on the fly. She did it well. It should have been up to her to call that on the fly, though.
And I appreciate you joining me here for the film.
Yo, Dre, thank you for having me back, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you're an inspiration to me. With what you're doing with the 1130 podcast actually motivated me to get this motivation motives thing hopping. And I want to say thank you, and I'm happy to be here. And life is good.
And for some people who may feel the same way or don't, though, stand with your partner after they say no to your marriage proposal.
You know what? You propose to her and say, "Hey, baby, you cop the ring," and you said, "Let's get married," and she says flat out no. How do you expect me as a man to stay with you? See, I always take things from the clinical standpoint as the counselor that I am. I think it starts with self-esteem. You understand?
Okay.
And a lot of men say that they have self-esteem, but they don't. Because now check it out. If I'm with you 10, 15 years and you just say flat out no. So me and Portia, my co-host, we was going back and forth on it on the podcast. She was saying, well, maybe she's just not ready. I said, okay, if she's not ready, I'm going to step. Because maybe it's telling me, you know what? Maybe I'm really not ready. Maybe, maybe I got it wrong. You know what I'm saying? Now, a man that has self-esteem, that doesn't have self-esteem, he's not going to step off because he feel like this is the only woman he can get. You know what I'm saying? Now, what you have done, you have given her all the control in the relationship.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So 3 years later, she going to pop up, baby, I'm ready. What changed?
Helen, how's it going?
Dre, thank you for having me. And I know I'm going to say this again, but congratulations on the 100th episode. It is so dope. That's a big accomplishment. I'm doing good, though. Yes. I don't know, but the funniest thing was it was like y'all all posting all these red flags, but y'all still with these red flags. And I said, that's the post. That's the red flag y'all need to pass around. Why are you still with the red flag? I don't know where it came from.
Look, social media is something else. Social media is something else. Would you rather live the rest of your days dealing with the silent gas that you couldn't control or loud sneezing that you couldn't stop?
Oh, we're going to do loud sneezing because gas is so stinky. And I don't want to be that person that people hate. So I'd rather just sneeze and say sorry. Oh my God, that's horrible. I can't. I'm okay.
I understand. It's a human body function, though. But I would be with the gas part because hey, you got some people who might sneeze like 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a row and think you're supposed to say bless you 8 times. Like, come on, bro. Like, bless you. Bless you. Like, come on. We ain't about to keep doing this, bro. Like,
what's up, guys? How y'all doing? I'm doing good, man. It's good to see you. It's good to be on the podcast again. Really excited to be here. But yeah, dude, congratulations to yourself. 100 episodes of the 1130 podcast. That's fucking badass. I'm gonna crack this beer for you, man. That's what we're gonna do. So this is a very controversial topic in the way where Kyrie Irving, a guy with a platform, a guy that's he's pretty outspoken about the things he believes in. He believes the world is flat, number one. And then the other thing is this guy's extremely well educated. He went to Duke. He played basketball at Duke. To go to Duke, you have to be a smart guy. They don't just let anybody into Duke. But so his thing is the state of New York is requiring everybody to be vaccinated. And he is refusing to take the COVID vaccine.
Brother, and yo, welcome to the 100th episode. How's it going, man?
Man, it's doing good. I'm doing good. Wonderful, man. I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Like I always say, man, you're a big inspiration to me. So just thank you, man. They already know what it is. It's your boy, Milli, man. New hottest singer off Money Train, man. Y'all go listen to that thing, man. That Money Train, man. It's out on all platforms, man. But this is struggle, man. You know what I mean? Let's get it.
Niggas cut it. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's a motherfucking struggle. It's a struggle. It's a struggle.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle, man. Yo, sit back watching these clips, man. Is real inspiring, man. Speaking of inspiring, shout out to Aretha, Quan John, Helen, Chris once again. My guy Milli, Quan John, man. Yo, shout out to everyone. That 100th episode was woo. That was the longest I ever recorded anything podcast related, bro. It was like I started like at least like 1 that day, or no, 12, and I didn't finish until about like 5, man. But yo, that was awesome, man. That was really, really awesome. Man, just a lot of people, tell me that I'm, an inspiration to them, Quan John and, Milli and just a bunch of different people, man. And I thank you guys, man, for real. And every week on the podcast, whether it's my wrestling podcast or here on the podcast, I always ask a guest, man, what inspires them, man. And I want to sit back and tell you guys, man, what inspires me, man. What inspires me is just, and it's so many different things, man. So many different things, but more certain than not, when I see stories about, yo, man, I always wanted to do this, or I always wanted to do that, and you see people, winding up, growing up and, accomplishing what they always wanted to do, whether it's, from a child or just at an early age. And a lot of my inspiration comes from wrestling, crazy as it sounds though, but a lot of my inspiration comes from wrestling. I look at it, wrestlers kind of like one of the hardest guys, workers, women and men out there. They really not all that famous unless you're a John Cena, The Rock, or, a top superstar or whatever. But these guys ride up and down the road 300 days a year, just trying to make it in the wrestling business, trying to become somebody that, and have a match or have a moment that people could talk about 20, 30 years later. But just not only that, man, just the sacrifices that you got to put in, and knowing, I'm about to be a dad. I couldn't imagine. But man, like that's inspiring to me that, these guys, give up, their personal life just to go be in a ring and perform for these crazy, insane fans, man. I'm telling you, wrestling fans are I don't even want to say the worst, but, like if somebody could back me up, some people would say they are the worst of all fans, man, but they are the most dedicated. And, they like, I don't even know. Like, if you guys seen Raw where this past Monday where John Cena returned, there's the passion, and that's that, man. And just, also, obviously, me about to being a dad and knowing that I'm about to raise a smart, intelligent young man, and me podcasting, hearing people tell me I'm an inspiration, and hearing me and seeing people hit me up for advice, be like, yo, how did you do this, or how do you do that, man? Or hey, brother, man, can you do an intro for me, or XYZ, or can you edit a video, bro? That's inspiring, man. That let me know that I'm doing something right. That let me know that, hey, look, if I get blocked from some groups, that let me know I'm doing everything I need to be doing. Like, for real, man. Is this a group in the podcast group, man? Anchor, one of the anchors group, man. And I just kept getting blocked from there. And one of the girls that I had on my podcast, shout out to Rosie, she was just like, sharing links is considered as spam or whatever. But I'm like, it's like what, 5, 6, 7,000 people in these groups. Like, a lot of people share their Anchor FM, link or whatever like that. But I know I probably ain't the only one. But come on, man, make it make sense though. Like, but look here, if you get haters going on, man, you doing something right. But yo, man, look here, you guys are always an inspiration to me to keep keep coming each and every week and doing what I'm doing, and it's more of an inspiration to now that, like I said, I'm about to be a dad, and man, my little boy is gonna grow up one day, and he's gonna, man, I want him to have someone he can look up to, man, and me. Come on. Oh man, it's exciting, man. It's definitely exciting. But you guys, man, yo, this has been a dope show here. Reminiscing here on the podcast, chopping it up with you guys. Thank everyone for tuning in this week here on YouTube. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. And when we come back on the other side, man, we're gonna keep chopping it up with you guys, man. And yo, we're gonna keep reminiscing, man. It's great, man. We having fun. I'm having fun. I hope you guys are. Don't move. You're listening and you're watching to the 1130 podcast. You dig?
Well, you just learned something today. Rhino, the vagina is a muscle. It has to be misogyny. You know, you ever heard of muscle memory? You use their Kegel balls.
Like when you in it, when you inside of it, they can actually squeeze on you while you're inside of it, bro. That's a fucking muscle reflection.
Rhino, what the fuck?
Sanitized. 1 million faces protected. 400,000 rail cars disinfected. We're humming right along, keeping you safe when you ride Metro.
Yo, what up? This your boy Kenneth Stones, AA Coffee Weaston. This your boy DOE Good Brother Bowl. And we are the Dirty Hills. You already know, man, you tuning in to 1130 podcast. Not 7:30, but 11:30.
Dude, that's my job. Not 7:30, but 11:30.
Yeah. And you have been Dirty Hills approved.
Yo, we back here on the 1130 podcast. Appreciate everyone sticking with me throughout the short commercial break, man. For real. It's been a dope show. Reminiscing, man. It's the last episode before the break. Thank everyone tuning in. Man, these videos that just been playing, man, it's been real awesome and just real inspiring, man. Like I was saying before the break, to watch. It really is. It really is. Shout out to Chris, Aretha, Kwanjan, Helen, Milli. Man, you name it, man. Shout out to Noel. Yo, man, I thank everyone. Watching some of them videos just remind me of also using Zoom too. Like, man, the process it's all about the process, man. If you haven't know, if people ain't tell you, man, the process is everything. It's everything, because when you get to a certain point in your career or in your life, you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, whoa, remember that time? It's all about the process, man. It's all about the process. But you guys, man, we're gonna move on here on the podcast, man, for real. Yo, last week, man, the verses went down. What in the blue, like my guy Rock would say, what in the bluest of blue hell was going on there? It seemed like Mario was the only one who was, who knew what the assignment was, man, for real. It's R&B, we gonna get up there, we gonna sing, we gonna do our thing, right? Well, it looked like Ray J, he got an invitation, and he ain't bring his singing voice with him. He brought his entrepreneur self, selling them earbuds and everything like that. He wasn't thinking about no singing. He was just like, you know what? This is an opportunity for me to gain 10,000 more followers on social media. For real, man. He wasn't getting up there with no purpose of singing One Wish, one of Ray J's biggest songs, One Wish, man. I'm telling you, I don't remember how old I was, 14, 15, singing One Wish. One Wish, man, what? What, man? And then you got a Marion. Man, Omarion, man, he up there. Watermelon though, I understand. You know, he coming. You know, he got all the women, you know, who love him and whatnot. But my man, really, you coming up there eating watermelon, bro? Like, you lost already. You lost already. Like, what is going on here? What is going on here, man? Like, oh man, it seemed like this versus battle in particular was just a payday for it was a payday for these guys. I mean, Mario was to show him that, look at, like, I can still crank my jumps and I can still sing and do what I'm doing, but Omarion though, for real, and Ray J though, of all people though, oh man, WTF, I know, right? That's a WTF moment if you ask me, man, for real. It's just like, want to talk about music, man, the new Drake album out, man. I mean, that don't sound like that's the album for us, man. After that Drake album came out, man, I was like, you know what? Let me listen to some old shit. Where the old Drake at? Bring the old Drake back, man. Because all this new Drake going on right now with him doing all the dance club songs. I don't know what the hell to call them, but hey, they ain't for us. I don't know what's going on, Drake. Bring the old Drake back, man. He got so much money up and selling mansions, buying mansions, selling mansions. He ain't making music for us no more. I mean, once he made music for us and we got him rich, now he over there, you know, making music for for the white folks and for everybody else. Yeah, the people that's going to continue to make him rich. And yeah, but oh man, like, what is going on, man? What a time to be alive, man. Definitely. Speaking of time to be alive, once again, everyone always know, man. I'm going to be a dad, man, and I am thrilled. I'm excited. Yesterday, I came from my appointment, man, so I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. 6 weeks to go, actually 7 weeks to go. And yeah, my little man is gonna be here, man. Little man, I saw some funny shit at the appointment, man. I was like, yo, this was actually the crowd is the waiting room was, but when we was in there and I'm just sitting down, I'm like, waiting for our appointment, and I just decided to look over and I see a young lady, she's sitting down and she's pregnant too, but she got slippers on to say Netflix and chill. And I was just like, why the hell did these slippers just scream pregnant? Like, I don't know if it was just me or not, but it just seemed like her slippers just screamed pregnant. Like, you feel me? If I didn't even look at her to notice that she was pregnant, like, I was like, okay, she about to, like, come on, bro. Any other slippers but those, though. Oh, man. That's crazy. Hey, yo, well, we're going to move on here on the podcast, you guys, man. We're going to get back into some great reminiscent videos, man, for real.
TV, radio, and YouTube. It's time for the podcast, man. I got a great guest, dope guest lined up this week for the 1130 podcast. My guy, Jimmy, is coming to us from York, Pennsylvania. He's the host of the Sexy Cool Lounge podcast.
Listen, you'd be surprised. When I reached out to you, I told you that I said I had been following you for a minute, man. And, just because every time, sometimes people don't necessarily always comment on something, but when your vibe is like-minded and you just kind of just keeping your ear to what they're doing, man. When I finally reached out to you, I said, you're doing some positive things and I've been watching you for a minute, man. And, I want to go ahead and bring you on the show. It was real. And when you came on, the vibe was just like, cool, man. You know what I'm saying? It was everything that I thought it would be. And we've just cultivated that fellowship of podcasting in a like-minded way. And that's real cool, man. And when I said, be in love with yourself, love yourself every minute, okay? There are so many people out there that disrespect themselves. They will respect somebody else before they respect themselves. They always give to other people in such a way that it is a detriment to themselves. Love yourself every minute. It should not be that you like who you are if you're getting ready to go out on a date and you dress a certain way and now all of a sudden you feeling yourself, all right? It shouldn't be that if you're at work and you did something extraordinary or something good, and now all of a sudden you patting yourself on the back. It shouldn't be just for that moment. It should be from the time you wake up in the morning to the time that you go to bed at night. And for me, that pinnacle is sexy cool. When you feeling sexy cool about yourself, and everybody has felt that, man and woman. When guys get ready to go out on dates, or you taking your wife out or whatever, and you look like, you look at yourself in the mirror and you dress down to the nines or whatever, that's sexy cool, okay? You're a woman, you getting ready to go out on a date with a guy, and you looking at yourself and you making sure that you on point before you step out and grab your keys, that's sexy cool.
We learn from our mistakes. Why are we also so afraid to make a mistake?
Because we're creatures that don't like to be critiqued, and we want to be perfect from the gate, whether we admit that or not. No one likes to fail. No one likes to not be good at something that they actually put effort into. But we're afraid to fail, because if we fail, the challenge then is, how strong do you get up? And there are a lot of people that truly don't want to get up. You have some people that will get up. You fail, I'll get up, okay, because I'm on my journey. But then you have some people that say, oh, I tried it. Oh, it didn't work for me. You know what I'm saying? They're afraid to fail because they don't want to, they're afraid that if they fall down, they may not get back up.
Well, as you can see, I'm an amputee. I've been an amputee for about 14 years now. In 2007, I got into a car accident with a friend of mine. She was driving. We were riding on the Southern State. Anybody from New York knows that road is a winding road. She fell asleep and I woke up like this. According to her, her car flipped over a few times, and I'm going to assume that, my arm was amputated during the situation.
How you felt about that once you, came to and you were working up into the hospital, that, you don't have no memory of it.
I'm grateful that my experience happened the way that it have. I believe that's why I've taken it the way that I have, because I didn't hear, see, feel anything. I literally fell asleep one moment, and the next moment I was in a hospital looking around, looking for my friend.
Some people would think that you would have resentment towards your friend. How did you handle that situation? Like you said, when she first woke up, you were thinking about her rather than, yourself.
Definitely shout out to Kofi Weaston, aka Kenneth Stones, the good brother, the Dirty Heels. That's definite infamous hat extended family. You know what I'm saying? They definitely made this connection happen. Shout out to the whole wrestling community. They've been showing us mad love. You know what I'm saying? My brother Halo to God, he did a couple of intros. He did an intro for the Dirty Heels. Did a couple of other intros for a couple of other wrestlers. So them dudes, I can't even say enough about them dudes. Them dudes did so much. But yeah, man, right now, the host, or MC as I like to call myself, of the MC of the infamous Many Hats show.
So the man ate some leftover rice, chicken, and lo mein from a restaurant, and 20 hours later, he was really sick. He was vomiting, had chills, chest pain, a fever of 105. It got so bad, he was hospitalized.
I'm a big leftover type of guy, man. I mean, that's not going to discourage me from eating leftovers. It's just going to make sure I continue to eat leftovers from where I've been eating my leftovers from. That is wow, man. That's a storyboard.
Yeah, that's WTF all the way, though. I mean, come on, though.
Find it within ourselves to allow them to discover themselves, and then put them in position to be successful in what they like, right? And find value in what they like. Because if they're not going to do it confidently, then they're not going to be successful. Because in the back of their mind, it's going to be like, well, I was going to fail anyway because nobody backed me up. And we have to approach it with them in mind, not us. We didn't have children. Oh, I'm about to touch some nerves. We didn't have children to fix what's wrong with us, right? We didn't have children to live through them, to get it right through them. We get it right by allowing them to be them. They're their own separate person. And that's something that parents have to wrap their minds around, right? We can't teach them through our trauma. We can't help them through our trauma. Our trauma is our trauma. It got nothing to do with them. We have to help them through them. Now, in the process, if we will find ways of fixing ourselves, right, then awesome. That's amazing. But we can't put our trauma on them. We can't put our fears on them. Clear on your stance with your child. Because if they shaky about you, they're already shaky about the world. I'm an adult and I'm shaky about the world.
Yeah.
So man, you know what I'm saying? So imagine a child shaky about the world trying to figure it out. And I understand. So they at least need to know where you stand. My dude, it's okay not to have all the answers, bro. You don't have all the answers. You're not. There's no way you have all the answers. Okay, look for help, and admit that to your child. Like, oh, I don't know that. That's new to me. Let's go find it out together, right? And then do your research. Go find out. Go talk to other people, bro. Don't feel like you by yourself.
It's going to be fun, man. My guys, Luke and Chris, you guys, they're the hosts of the Thin Weight Podcast, you guys. Where their podcast is about bridging the gap between able bodies and people with disabilities, man. But Luke and Chris, how's it going?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
No problem, man. I appreciate you guys joining me on the podcast. Cool, man. That's real cool. You guys talk about how you guys met in college, man. And Luke didn't want to be Luke didn't want to be your friend, Chris.
Absolutely, that's true, bro. It is true. I mean, I can understand it though, because like growing up, I had a couple friends who were disabled, but they pretty much just clumped everybody together. You know, hey, y'all are disabled, you should just be friends, whatever. But it doesn't always work that way, and you shouldn't do that to people anyway. But that's how the school system was. In a lot of ways, it's still kind of that way. So
I wouldn't say I feel, well, obviously I don't feel obligated, but I don't think it was obligation on us, but like able-bodied people, they put that obligation on you. They put that expectation on you to be friends and things like that. So that's why I feel that obligation came in.
But I think back for me, like when I was in school, like teachers and everything, like they always told people like, don't say nothing, don't look, don't ask questions. Like it's rude, but it's not. Look, especially as a young kid, kids are gonna ask questions. They're curious. Heck, I see some people when I'm curious. My thoughts are rolling. I mean, I ask those questions, but I still have those thoughts. You know, so if you're a young kid, you're vulnerable. You don't know. There's no, you know what I mean. So like, our biggest thing is don't be afraid to have a conversation. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't be afraid to get to know somebody just because they look different. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you're right about that, man. Because people would tell me, "Oh, you're here when you're out and about. Don't stare at them and stuff like that." And I always, but we'll be kind, you know, especially to the little kids, the young ones, because they don't know, they don't understand. But if you're 30, you 40 years old, you staring in my face, like, come on, though, like it really don't make sense, though. But I definitely feel what you guys saying.
As far as that, it was not, I wouldn't say very like a reach my identity, because I always used a wheelchair anyway. It was part of me at a young age. But I think when I started to get older, I was very angry. You know, I try to be happy. And a lot of people tell you, like, Luke is always happy, man. And that is fair. But I was very angry because I couldn't do anything. You know, when playing basketball, playing football, I didn't get to do that. When people starting to, you know, get their driver's license, the learner's permit, and driving, I didn't get to do that. You know, that messed my confidence. I didn't even go to my prom and things like that because my confidence wasn't even that great. So I was a very angry person for a long time. And I think I even hid that anger until one day it just came out. So I've been through like a kind of a 2 or 3 year depression. I was just sad and mad, you know what I'm saying? But I'm a lot better now. Like I said, I live my best life, man. I live with what God gave me, and I'm trying to live my best of what I have. Story too, when I was working at Walmart here, this guy was talking to me, and he was like, man, you know, this and that. I had problems. He had a brain cancer, I think it was, so he was dying, but he was like, I look at you, and my life is that bad. And I'm like, bro, you about to die.
Right. I mean,
like, I'm just in a wheelchair. You about to die, and your life, you still feel like your life is better than mine. Like, it's not, but like, I was like, man, really? Like, you really gonna disrespect me like that? That's when some things I laugh off, and then sometimes I'm like, nah, that's not cool. So
yeah. Hey man, I understand it, man. Some people will just come up to you and be like, you know what, God bless your heart, and you know, give you money, and I'd be like, okay, well, I ain't asked for it, or some
I'm gonna take it though.
Yeah, I mean, exactly, right? Exactly. Or if I'm riding down the street or something like that, and hey, let me get a ride. I'm like, let you get a ride, like. Or what's the other one? You guys talked about this one on your podcast too. Let's race.
Right.
when you guys, why is that the first thing when you see two people in a wheelchair? You guys say, "Let's race."
Yeah,
that's wild though. That's wild. But when you guys race, who won?
Oh, I did.
Luke wins. Yeah, Luke wins.
I did.
Wow. Providing wasn't nothing. You as long as you try, that's all that that matters, man. And protection. Yeah, thought about that because you're in a wheelchair and you don't want to look like a sucker to your woman.
Right? Yeah.
I definitely get what you guys saying. Have you ever used your disability to get out of a crazy situation?
Yes. Yes, probably. Yes. I'm not saying probably. Yes.
I don't know. I can't. Nothing's ringing a bell for me.
I mean,
I'm sure I have. Used it for something, to get something.
Yeah.
To get something, huh? To get something. Okay. I think we all have, though. We all have. I done probably act a little slow a couple of times. we all been there.
Okay. VIBEZ to kind of show you, like, we made it through all of that. Now we're here, right. So I'm just very particular, bro, about like messages and like how people perceive the show. So that's kind of what
sound like you
he's very creative. That's a very, very creative process because you don't really hear about that unless you go to some of these big time shows. You don't hear about people doing like getting real creative with the music while they on stage performing. Most of what we think, motherfucker be on there getting hype and hop, we can eat hop, shit like that. You actually giving them like a vision with the music.
Yeah, it got to be an experience, bro.
Yo, man, I thank everyone for tuning in this week here on the 1130 podcast. Man, just sitting back watching these videos, man, is amazing. It really is amazing, and it just gives me so much motivation and so much inspiration, man, to come back and give you guys more content, dope content, man, especially with this podcast and also definitely with my wrestling podcast and a new show, Beyond 1130, that's coming this fall, man, for real. So everyone, man, I shout out everyone from Chris, Rita, Kwanjan, Helen, Milli, my guy Jimmy from the Sexy Cool Lounge podcast, Noel, man, AyeCoachcam. Oh man, I don't even know where I begin. Plump Queen, my guy Audrey from the infamous Mini Hats podcast. Shout out to you and your whole team for allowing myself, not only myself, Blackheart and Warren Marlowe of the commission to come chop it up with you guys on y'all podcast, man. So that was dope, man. Definitely dope. So go tap in with the infamous Mini Hats podcast right now. And shout out to everyone, man. Shout out to everyone that has blessed the 1130 podcast. Shout out to everyone who didn't want to come on the podcast too. That's motivation and inspiration, man, for real as well. Man, you let me know I'm doing something well and doing something right, man. But thank everyone for tuning in this week. Awesome show. For every clip you done seen today, man, go check out the full episode here on the 1130 podcast YouTube channel. I also want to say thank you to EB Radio for allowing me to come on you guys EB Radio platform, the app, man, and to share my podcast week in and week out for almost a year and a half. I thank you guys. Shout out to Barking Bar, Helen, the Ride the Wave crew, everybody, man, everybody at EB Radio, now All In Radio. If you guys haven't been tapping in since the 1130 podcast is not on the station, but All In Radio, so tap into them and if they still got something going on. But thank you guys, man. Thank you guys. This has been dope. The 1130 podcast will return this fall, you guys. Once again, the 1130 podcast will return this fall, and Beyond 1130 debut this fall, man. I'm all excited. This has been a great one. Before I go, you know what time it is. Don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. Follow me on Twitter at the 1130 podcast. Like the 1130 podcast on Facebook. Follow me and subscribe to the 1130 podcast on YouTube, man. Tell a friend about the 1130 podcast, and also follow the 1130 podcast on Instagram at the 1130 podcast _ for real, man. It's been a dope one. when I come back, everyone who's definitely want to be on the show, because I keep getting people who reaching out to me, man, was like, yo, how can I be a guest? And I'm like, oh, excuse me. I was like, yo, man, I'm going on break, but when I come back, I got you, man. So everyone, I appreciate you for reaching out to me to be on the podcast, man, to share your story, man, or whether your business podcast or just chop it up with me, man. So it's always dope. It's always fun. I'm out of here. I thank you guys, man. I will be back this fall. I got so many stories I can't wait to tell you guys, man. For real, me being a dad, everything and more, man. For real. You guys, man, enjoy the rest of your week, man. For real, this has been awesome, man. I love you guys' support, man. And yo, man, support the next one. Support the next one who got a business. Support the next one who got a podcast. And just keep the love going on, man. Keep the love going on. It's a weird time that we're living in right now, but keep the love going on. Spread it, man. And man, give all the glory to God, man, because he would do it. For real, he definitely would do it. Yo, it's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Tap into all previous episodes of the 1130 podcast, man, for real. And follow me on social media. Yo, I see you guys for Talk Pro Wrestling this Friday. Other than that, man, I see you guys this fall. Man, I can't wait, man, for real. Man, it's not going to be an episode next Wednesday. But yo, man, stay blessed, stay safe. Give all the glory to God, man. Once again, won't he do it? Yo, it's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels, and I'm out.